Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? I had a thought, and it's pretty much grew from people mentioning that their significant other wants to learn how to play the game. As players, we spend a lot of time playing, and sometimes a girlfriend, boyfriend, are like, you play this game a lot. I'd like to learn, or they show like some interest, or at least like some kind of solidarity with you by like trying to take up your hobby. And I know personally it used to always like frustrate me because they didn't display the same amount of commitment that I did. And I'm trying to show them combos. I'm trying to explain to them, well, if you chain block this and that, and it like drew me insane that they wouldn't get it. It's like, this is so easy. Why don't you get this? And then I tried to use like starter decks, structure decks. But the problem is a lot of times those decks have like combos and they use a wide array of mechanics, assuming that you've been playing all this time. And a lot of times I find that those structure decks just are not um, newbie friendly. You understand what I'm saying? So like we'll say like the Soul Burner structure deck. If you're just picking up the game, you know, you might understand link summoning because that was like your first introduction to the game, but you have no concept of fusion summoning or special summon. That those concepts are just like so new, and unfortunately, we're at the point where it's like virtually impossible to go back in time and get those very first Yugi and Kaiba structure decks because those things are like infinitely expensive. So, what I like to propose to you guys today is kind of like build your own starter decks, and it doesn't have to be a full 40 cards. What I propose is a 20 card deck. Start with 4,000 life points and build it such that the mechanics being used are like the most basic mechanics in the game. We're talking normal summon, we're talking flip summon, you know, very, very basic battle tricks, very, very basic card interactions. And so the deck list I propose, and I'll explain this along the way, goes as follow. So we have a 9 monster count, one mathematician, one Shadal dragon, two vanilla beat sticks, 1800 attack of your choice. In this, I try to use cards that are easily acquirable, cards that have recently been reprinted to come out so that you don't have to go online and order them. You understand what I'm saying? So for this instance, I'm using two of the World Chalice 1800 attack guy, and then the World Chalice 21 defense girl. So this way you have solid beaters at 1800 and like a solid defender at 2100 defense. And this is just to teach the person as they're playing about normal summoning and then having a beater, and then also saving your resources for the 2100 attack. That if you let that sit there, you're going to get stalled out. Next up, we have Snipe Hunter, Sangin, which is a Black Forest, and Driver. Now you might ask, Driver, there's no Gamma. Well, this is just to teach tribute summon. I didn't want the tribute summon to be something so powerful like a Mobius or Genzo, or any other type card that's a level 5 or higher that has some powerful effect. Because again, we just want like the most basic, Sangin and Witch lets them experience recruitability from the deck. Snipe Hunter will allow them to understand, cost benefit of like going for it. Like with Snipe Hunter, you got to roll the dice and you discard a card, and if you miss, do you keep going or you conserve your cards? Or do you save the Snipe Hunter specifically for the 2100 attack defense, or do you save the Snipe Hunter for the 2500 attack driver? And then again with the mathematician, solid beater at 1500. It doesn't really get over much, but if it's run over, you draw a card. And then also it can send dragons from the deck to the grave. That teaches another card interaction on kind of like reverse toolboxing. Now, Dragon is the only card that really combos well with Mathematician. And so I feel that this kind of teaches bricks and combos that have like a limited functionality, but when you do pull it off, it's really strong. And then Dragon is sort of like our man-eating bug. So you can either use it as a 1900 attacker, it beats all the 18s, or if you have a card that you can't get over, for instance, the 2100 defense chick, or the the driver, when they attack into it, it flips up and then it dies. So it's just like all these little things that are like super easy to understand, and you can take it step by step. So next is the spell lineup. You got one Mystical Space Typhoon, one Book of Moon, one Swords of Revealing Light, one Smashing Ground, one Galaxy Cyclone, and one Cauldron of the Old Man. Now this the MST, just basic spell trap removal, and a Book of Moon. These are the quick plays, so it kind of teaches them the intermediary between a spell that you can activate immediately on your turn and the traps where they have to sit a turn and then wait. This is very basic. Swords, get them used to like stalling and then waiting to see if, or is there any removal on this, or teaching them that you can use a stall card to allow you to have time to draw your outs. Smashing Ground, again, another piece of simple removal. Galaxy Cyclone is like just like 2 turns, so you can use it first to hit their set spell and traps. Obviously, you guys know what it means, but also the secondary ability in the graveyard. This sets them up for learning for the future if they decide that they really like this and wants to keep going, that there are cards in the game that have dual utility, just like the Shaddoll Dragon. Then finally, the trap lineup. You have Bottomless Trap Hole, Vanilla Trap Hole, Sakuretsu Armor, Compulsory, and Regeki Break. Now, Regeki Break could be replaced by Dino Mishkis, but I felt that Dino Mishkis would be like saved for later, just simply because it has a special summon mechanic, and I don't think that they're quite ready for the chain, like that heavy of chains, blocking Dino Mishkis by chaining your own card, and also special summoning. That's too much for like just right now, in my opinion. And also Regeki Break, again, card economy. It removes any card at the cost of a discard, so it's a 1 for 2. One of their cards for 2 of your own cards, teaching them that as powerful as it is, it has a really high cost. Compulsory, simple 1 for 1. It could be a -1 at some points. If you compulsory their driver, then that it ends up being a -1 to them. They lost their tribute plus their summon, and you set them back a turn. Sakuretsu Armor, simple battle phase removal, and then of course the trap holes, Bottomless and vanilla trap hole, just on summon removal. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably have like a little picture of what it looks like. It's like a dueling book photo. I'm going to have the download link, and you can replace many of these cards with like cards you have available, but just try to keep the theme in mind. Keep the deck a low deck count. Try to find as much balance as you can. Try not to have too many effects going off. If you'd like to introduce like combos right off the bat, that's fine, but just realize that if they have no experience in card games, the idea of multiple card interactions might be too much for them. Okay, so this is going to be part 1, and I like to make this a series of like gradually teaching the people in your group that maybe are interested in the game or would like to learn something new, like to pick up a new hobby, that this can be like sort of an introduction, and it doesn't require you to go out and spend a bunch of money, because certainly you have bulk commons that you haven't gotten rid of yet, and I think that something like this would be a great start. All right, give me a thumbs up if you please. If you like this video, check the description for ways that you can contact me. Remember, my Discord is jumping. I'll have a link to that down below. And if you find this video entertaining, or if you like the work that I'm doing, please feel free to check out my Patreon. I have the links down in the description as well. And this is Dub K Dad, and I'm out. Thanks.